Hello teachers! Here is a quick video on how to download, install, and set up Zoom tied to either your PC Eagles or your Pelican.net account. The first thing you want to do is go to zoom.us and go to Resources and download Zoom Client. Depending on if you're PC or Mac, it'll show your option here for Zoom Client for meetings. This is what you want. Download the client. It'll either be here in your downloads or it'll be in your Finder window under Downloads. Simply run and install the software and click Sign In. Most importantly, you want to use your Google account. Sign in with Google. Select your account. And launch the client. This is what the Zoom client looks like on PC and Mac. Something to note here that's important. If we're going to be using this a lot to share, to chat with students, you don't want to be sharing a new link every time you have to schedule a chat. Zoom has something called a personal meeting ID. And you can find that by clicking on your face and then My Profile. And it'll take you to a browser where you sign in again with your Google account. And you will see here a link. We'll change this in settings in a minute, but this link here you can post once at the top of your Moodle page or Google Classroom page and have that be the same link every time kids need to join a meeting with you. That way you don't have to send a new link every time you schedule a meeting. In order to make sure that every time you launch a meeting it uses your personal meeting ID instead of a random link, go to Settings and scroll down to Use Personal Meeting ID when starting a meeting. You don't want to turn it on for scheduling because if you schedule something out, you probably want to give that link to whoever you're scheduling the meeting with. But for kids and for other staff members that want to quickly get a hold of you, turn on Use Personal Meeting ID when starting an instant meeting. That way, you go back to your Zoom client. Automatically, when you start a new meeting, it'll use that ID no matter what. And kids can simply join the link from your class, the same link from your class every time without having to get a new link for every meeting. Some of the other settings we want to change, go back to the browser, and you're going to want to go down to, all the way down to mute. And if you can't find it, you can do Command F to find, here it is. I'm going to suggest turning on mute participants upon entry automatically. That way you can control who is allowed to unmute themselves or not. And when you first sign into a group, if you have more than just a couple folks on, if you have a whole classroom, the noise can get out of control pretty quickly in terms of echo. So it's good to be able to do this by default. So turn on mute participants upon entry. Okay, so hosting a meeting. If you go back to your client, you simply click New Meeting. We're going to always use Join with Computer Audio. Zoom has mentioned that because this is a new free product for everyone during this pandemic, that they've had some issues with calling in with telephone. So I would just say make sure you use Join with Computer Audio whenever possible. I had on start meetings with host video on off by default, which is also nice. so that if in case you're not quite ready to be on video when you start your meeting, you can decide when to turn that on. Start your video. You'll see me. You can stop your video. You can also do the same with mute here. If something happens in your house and you got a quick mute a child or mute yourself because people are being loud. The other more important thing we're going to use here is share screen. Simply click share screen. Click on your desktop. You can also use a whiteboard if you want to, but desktop is the best way to quickly share your screen. Click share. And you can see here that your screen is being shared. These are the basics for now. If you have any other questions, let me know.